Gym influencers be on here lying to niggas because if y'all really knew what it took to build and maintain a crazy physique, you wouldn't do it. You wouldn't fucking do it. Y'all ain't got the discipline. Y'all wouldn't fucking.
So the truth is, um, influencers are not lying to you about how easy fitness is, but in reality, it's hard. Like the opposite. They're not hiding the truth from you that fitness is difficult, weight loss is difficult, muscle building is difficult. No, it's actually the opposite, and that's the thing. Hey, is influencers are actually trying to convince you that it's hard. It's hard work, and so hard that they're the ones who did it. They're the ones who could do it, and they don't recommend that you do what they do exactly what they do because it's so hard. So then they'll try to recommend a easier route to try to convince you this like you could put a little bit of effort because if they made it obvious that it's easy to lose fat, it's easy to get muscular, right? To put on muscles, then they'll have competition because then everybody can easily lose weight, everybody can easily put on muscle. So then putting on muscle and losing weight is not special. It's not something they can make content on because what's the point of you making content of something that's obvious? And that's the problem. It's like it's fitness is easy, fat loss is easy as long as you're eating the 2,000 calories, right? And you have like a fitness tracker and the tracker. Let me check mine right now. It says I burned 118 calories, 541 steps, right? Now I know I burned more than that. No way I burned only 118 calories. I've been pretty active. I've been moving around. Obviously over 500 steps. That's at least 5 minutes of walking. I definitely should have burned more than 100 calories. Um, but that's just plus just breathing and thinking and whatnot. Should have burned calories. And I've been awake for a couple hours now. Um, so at least 3 hours I've been awake. So I should have been definitely burning more calories. The thing is, use the fitness tracker to burn 1,000 calories, right? Or 2,000 even better. That's the idea. It's like use it. And of course, some people, especially fitness people, be like, "Oh no, it's not accurate. This and there." It's like it doesn't have to be 100% accurate. It just has to be something you can use. It's good enough. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's good enough. If my fitness tracker says I burn 1,000 calories, that's good enough for me because I'm gonna take that number and then I'm going to assume maybe I burn 1,000 calories extra. So then that's 2,000 calories. And as long as I eat under 2,000 calories, I should lose weight. Right? My weight should be going down. Right? And then I go get on a scale in the morning after I use the bathroom one night, get on the scale and see if I weigh less today than I did yesterday. If the answer is yes, then yes, the method that I'm doing, the eating under 2,000 calories, right? Let's say I ate like 1,400 calories, right? So I ate 1,400 calories. The fitness tracker said I burned 1,000, and and then obviously I burn more than that um, without walking, right? The fitness tracker is just tracking the fact that I burn calories through walking. That's the only thing I can track. I can't track how much calories I burn from breathing, from thinking, from moving my arms, from my heartbeat. You know what I mean? Like, for producing body heat because your body heat comes from burning calories. But anyway, point is, I track what I can track, and I can track the walking burning calories part right with my fitness tracker. So I use that as a base. Okay, I burn 1,000 calories at least. So the idea is not to eat 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 calories because clearly I'm not going to lose any weight if all I'm technically is burning 1,000, but I'm eating over that. The idea is to eat close to what I burn. So if I burn 1,000 calories, I need to eat a number closer to it. So 1,300, 1,400, 1,500, that's close to 1,000, right? That's further away from 2,000, but closer to 1,000, right? That's the idea. So at least I'm in between 1,000 and 2,000. So do that every day for a week. You should lose weight. You should at least lose 5 pounds at least, right? Um, so there's so that's part of the process. That's easy. So if you can do that and keep that consistency, which is not difficult, because you're just doing the same thing every day. It's like, oh, tracking the calories I'm burning on my tracker. I'm eating the same thing every day, which is trackable. I'm using an app to keep track of the calories of the stuff I'm eating. If I eat something extra, then I just add it to the tracker and it'll keep track, right? And I know how consistent or inconsistent I am on the diet, right? Simple, easy. It's not rocket science. Then when it comes to lifting weights, once a week. For other people, be like, oh, I like going twice, 5 times a week, whatever. You stay home. I don't recommend it, but I I track that I lift weights once a week. Right? I lift my weights. I track it on an app, and that's it. I lift weights once a week. I try to burn 1,000 calories or more a day and eat under 2,000 calories a day. As long as I'm doing just those three things every week, I'm going to get results. I'm going to lose fat. I'm going to build muscles. Right? My weight's not going to change too much because of the fact that the fat is going down and the muscle is going up. So since I'm building muscles and losing fat, my weight is going to kind of be a little flat line. Basically, it's going to be a little consistent. It's not going to go down too much, but it's also not going to go up too much, right? Because I'm essentially trying to convert the fat to muscle, basically, with the whole losing fat, gaining muscles that way. So it's called body recomposition. So and it's working. Now, if I put in more effort, right, I burn more calories. I uh, work out twice a week, eat more protein, right? If I do more of what I'm currently doing, I will get a little bit more results, right? Faster weight loss, faster muscle building, right? Um, Essentially, that's the perception at least, right? But it's because it's that simple. Now, but muscle building is more it takes time to recover from working out. Burning calories just takes time. So the more because fat loss, the more time you spend burning calories, the skinnier you get, right? So it's just a time. The more time you put in, the faster your weight loss is. When it comes to muscle building, it's more about the time it takes to recover. So if you can speed up the recovery process, then yes, you can get bigger and stronger faster. So, but I'm a natty, so I don't do the things that speed up the recovery. Steroids, right? But that is a way to speed things up, since those are options in this world, and that's the point. Is like putting on muscles is not complicated. It's not hard. Putting on losing fat is not complicated or hard. It's just people, ironically, I'm gonna say, are lazy, and this is lazy exercise talking, right? People are lazy because it's easier to not put in a little bit of it's easier to not walk 5,000 steps than it is to walk 5,000 steps. I would disagree a little bit, but what I mean by easier is like it's super easy. Like doing nothing is way easier than doing something, way easier. But that's how you lose. Losing is not about you trying and then you failed per se, because winning comes from you trying, and you put in effort. So when you put in effort, you win. You're more likely to win by putting in effort than if you didn't. So it's better to try and fail than to have never tried at all, because you're more of a winner by trying than if you didn't try. Because losers are people who didn't even try. You're guaranteed to lose if you don't even try. So you're not gonna lose weight if you don't try. And what's ironic, the amount of effort people put into trying to keep eating the same stuff, like it's like you do realize that the stuff you ate is what made you big, and you don't have to eat. You don't have to stop eating the stuff you're eating. You just have to try to eat less of it, or at least replace it with different lower calories. Like if you love eating popcorn, fine. There are low calorie versions of popcorn. You like Pop Tarts? That's fine. There's low calorie Pop Tarts. You like donuts? There's low calorie donuts. And that's what you like chocolate milk. There's low calorie chocolate milk. Fairlife chocolate milk, for example. That's the thing. It's like there are options, alternatives for the stuff you like, and that really gets me that people are not looking for lower calorie versions of the stuff that they like. That way, they can still eat what they like to eat, but at least they're thinking like, well, by eating less calories, I'll lose weight because all the influencers says calories in, calories out. So that has to be true, and it is. It's more of calories out than calories in. But the main point is at least try lower the calories. Take the foods that you ate today, put them on a fitness tracker, right? The food tracker, and look how many calories. If it says 3,000 calories, then look at everything in there. And if you find something that's like, oh, this honey bun that I ate was like 600 calories, then you go look to see if there's a honey bun that's 300 calories. Like, oh, here's a honey bun. It's pretty much the same size, but it's 300 calories, half the calories, but it's pretty much the same size. Okay, let me replace it. Let me get that 300 calorie one instead. Because ironically, that's what I started doing at first. When I started doing the tracking thing, I started looking I'm like, huh, that's when I started looking at the calories of the stuff that I was eating, and then I was like, huh, that's a lot of calories for something this small. Like this is a small item. Like this little oatmeal cream pie has like 600 calories for this little thing. It's like, and I can easily eat 2 of these, 3 of these. Then that's a lot of calories. But it's not even a lot of food. So then I was like, okay, there has to be something else I can eat that's almost the size of this, and it's less calories. And I'm trying to think, what did I find? I think what you call it, a Rice Krispie treat. So I was like, Rice Krispie treat, and it was a big one too. I'm like, man, it's big. In many ways, it's bigger than the oatmeal cream pie. But it was like 190 calories or 180, something like that at the time. So I was like, oh, way less calories. And I could potentially buy 2 of these. It'll still be way less calories than if I just bought one. Because even if it's like, oh, this is technically 400 calories, yeah, 400 calories compared to 600, and I get 2 things I can eat versus that one thing, and that has more calories. I'm like, yeah, I'd rather eat 2, Rice Krispies. So it was just a matter of just finding a different snack that I like that was less calories. So it wasn't like trying to find a lower calorie version of the oatmeal cream pie. It was just like, there has to be something else that I like that has less calories. Oh, I like Rice Krispie treats, and that has less calories. And I can get 2 of them, and it's still less calories than, right? So stuff like that. And Nutri-Grain bars, I started getting into that. They were like 110 calories. Then I started doing the Greek yogurt, because that was like 110 calories, plus 11 grams of protein type stuff, and all these other good benefits. And I was trying different things. Not a big fan of Greek yogurt by itself. As an ingredient, yes, it's useful. I used it to make pancakes before, and I was like, yeah, that's awesome. That's I'd rather eat Greek yogurt that way as an ingredient to something, as opposed to just straight up just eating it out the container. But then I started getting to other things like eating a baked potato, which helps me suppress my appetite, as well as, it's just 100 calories. Eating a banana for the potassium, magnesium, but it's also just 100 calories. And so again, just looking for more and more things that are like 100 calories or less, and going from there. Right now, Rice Krispie treats. I said Rice Krispie treats. I meant rice cakes. 50 calories per rice cake. So I can eat 2 rice cakes, and that's 100 calories. You know what I mean? So it's like things like that I'm looking at. And a bag of skinny popcorn, that's 100 calories. You get the point. It's like I try finding things that I can eat a lot of, and it's still a low amount of calories. So that way I can eat the 1,200 to 1,400 to 1,500 calories, right, a day and still be under 2,000. So as long as I can eat, feel full, feel satisfied, and still be under 2,000 calories, it makes weight loss easy, very easy. You know, I lost a lot of weight. I got shirts that are 1X, 2X that I can put on. Still a little tight, so to speak, right? But they're getting looser, and that's the goal. That's the point. They're getting looser, but it's the fact that's like I could be thinner. I could be thinner, right? But my goal is not to really get thin. Just get rid of fat, of course, and then replace it with muscle. So I do still have big clothes because I expect to put on more muscle, and the more muscle will make me bigger, so I'll still need bigger clothes. But it's cool to see that yes, the fat loss is lossing, right? It's actually working. So of course I'm going to get thinner. So my clothes getting smaller, like right, well, bigger I should say, because even my new clothes that I bought like maybe a couple months ago, they're starting to get big. It's like okay, ironically I'm gonna have to go shopping again and get me some new clothes that are smaller, which is good. Proof of the point, because I'm lazy. I'm not doing all the stuff that these fitness influencers are doing, all the quote unquote hard work, discipline, all that extra shit. No, I'm the opposite. I procrastinating like crazy. I'm less disciplined. I just have a plan, right? Every Monday, which is one of my days off, I lift weights. I do about 5 exercises, and then Tuesday another 5 exercises. So total 10 exercises, and that's it. One set. I'm not doing multiple sets, just one set. I'm adding 5 pounds to the exercise every week, right? And that's it. I'm getting stronger every week, right? That's always a good thing. I'm doing the same exercises a week. I'm not doing anything extra or anything different. Doing the same stuff. I'm still getting results. The fat's disappearing. The muscles is building. I'm flexing them. I'm like, oh yeah, I feel them chest muscles. Oh yeah, like that kind of stuff. I feel the biceps, triceps. I feel all that, right? Like that's the way it's supposed to be. It's simple. That's why I'm lazy exercise, to point out the fact that like exercising is easy. That's why I hate it when people are out here trying to make it like, oh, it's really hard, blah blah blah. So you have some influencers trying to make it hard, and some influencers trying to pretend that it's not hard, even though in reality it is hard. But they want you to think that like, well, it's actually really hard. But especially to get the best results, you gotta work really, really hard. So I know a lot of y'all are not gonna do it, so therefore I'm going to give you the easy way. But that's not the case. It's not about fitness is hard, because fitness is not hard. It's easy. The funny thing is, even though it's easy, a lot of people are lazy. That's the thing. That's why people are looking for stuff like pills and Ozempic and shit like that, and steroids. They're looking for the fastest route, not necessarily the easiest per se. Because again, walking is easy, but people don't want to do it. Lifting a 50-pound dumbbell, a 100-pound dumbbell, for example, right, for a couple of reps, that's also easy. That's not complicated, difficult. It's not rocket science. But people don't want to do it. They don't want to lift the weight, even though they're lifting weights all the time by just standing and walking and moving their arms. Like your arm has weight. That's irony, because even when you pick up, let's say when you grab a 50-pound dumbbell and curl it, you're actually lifting more than that, because the weight of your arm counts. So the weight of your arm, let's say your arm weighs, let's say 5 pounds, hypothetically, right? You grab the weight, which is 50. Your arm is 5. That's 55 pounds. You're actually lifting 55 pounds, not 50. But most people don't think that. They don't think like, oh shit, because there's a word we have for it. It's called body weight. But some people don't think of body weight as part of an exercise. Because once they lift a weight, because somebody like, oh, I squat 600, and when they mention their body weight, like, yeah, but I'm 100 pounds. It's like, you're 100 pounds squatting 500, so that's a total of 600. But this guy over here is 300 pounds squatting 400 pounds. You think you're stronger than him? You're really not. You're squatting only 600. That person's squatting 700. They're squatting 100 pounds more than you, so they're actually stronger. You just think you're stronger because the number on the bar is bigger than the number he's using, but you're not counting that he's 200 pounds heavier than you. You're not counting his body weight as part of the weight that he's moving, that he's lifting. But it does count. That's why when somebody's like, oh yeah, I squat 800, and you weighed 300 pounds, and you actually squatted 1,100 pounds. I'm impressed, because you actually squatted over 1,000 pounds. You said it. You said 800, and but it's like you actually did 1,100, which is way more impressive. Just like if somebody's 300 squatting 1,000, it's like 1,300 pounds. That's what I heard, because I'm adding your weight plus the bar, plus the weight on the bar, right? So anyway, exercise is easy. Follow me, easy exercise. I am proof of that, and I will be posting more progress videos, images, workout videos. Videos of at least me working out. Probably put it to music and stuff, so that way it entertains y'all, inspires y'all. which is the main goal, is to inspire y'all to put in effort. You don't have to put in a lot of effort, not 100%, not 200%, like some of these influencers want you to think that it's hard work, hard work. No, it's easy work, lazy exercise.